Some roasting is good. Some roasting is really, really good. It's really, really funny. And some shit ain't funny at all. It's going too damn far. That, plus some basketball talk, plus LeBron James, I got something to say about him too. And the one and only Luke James in the house, right here on the Stephen A. Smith Show. Let's go. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this latest edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show, coming at you as I love to do at the very least 3 days a week over the digital airwaves of YouTube. As always, I'd like to take a moment to thank all of my supporters, followers, subscribers, etc., because we now have eclipsed 638,000 subscribers. Can't thank y'all enough for the love and support you continue to give me and the show. We continue to grow. We continue to climb. It wouldn't happen if it were not for you. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Keep the love coming, and I'm going to keep on coming. To continue to like and follow the show, just click on the bell right there, and YouTube will be notified as the latest member of the Stephen A. Smith Show family, okay? And while you're doing that, make sure and don't forget to pick up a copy of my New York Times best-selling book, Straight Shooter, a memoir of second chances and first takes. It's now in paperback. Just go to straightshooterbook.com. Once again, that's straightshooterbook.com. And you can check it out there. You can get the book there. It's now in paperback, y'all. It's now in paperback. This is going to be a quick show because I basically pierced your ears and your eyes with a damn 2-hour plus podcast this past Friday. So I'm not going to do that to you today. I'm going to be relatively quick with today's episode, getting into a few things. First thing that I want to do was give my brother, the great Kevin Hart, major props. Kevin Hart had a special on Netflix, Tom Brady Roast is what it was called, where Tom Brady was being roasted. And that was absolutely positively sensational. Kevin Hart came out first 20 minutes. He tore the house down. Make no mistake about it. It was special to watch. It really, really was. It was absolutely hilarious. We can't play a bunch of sound for you or whatever. We don't have them damn rights from Netflix as of yet, so we couldn't do it for you right now. But he was absolutely hysterical. He wasn't the only one, though. Rob Gronkowski was in the house. Julian Edelman was in the house as well. They were former teammates, of course. Drew Bledsoe, the quarterback Tom Brady took the job from, he did a skit with Bill Belichick. That was funny. Randy Moss was in the house, okay? I mean, Nikki Glaser, she brought the house down. Kim Kardashian participated. I mean, everywhere you turned, it was a whole bunch of people, make no mistake about it. But it was really, really funny. The jokes that drew the most gasp, though, came from Kevin Hart, who hit on Brady's love life and his divorce from Giselle. You knew that Kevin Hart was going to do that. There was no question about that. Kevin Hart was going to get him. It's a roast, y'all. And when you volunteer for a roast, nothing's off limits. Now, my man Shannon Sharp told me earlier this morning on First Take on ESPN, he was like, yo, I could give a roast. He said, if they were roasting you, he said, I'd pay my own fare. I'd make sure I'd get there. Make no mistake about it. I'd roast your ass, Stephen A. And he wouldn't be the only one, because it provoked the question, could you do a roast? Guess what? I could. Now, my family probably wouldn't want me to, but I could take it. It don't bother me. As long as I get to give it out, as long as I get to dish it out, I could take it. Make no mistake, but I know they would kill me. The hairline jokes are not going to work because you've been saying it. You've been saying it. I know that I'm tinkering towards George Jefferson status. I learned that a long time ago. That don't faze me. You know, so you got to come up with something new, and nobody has done it, okay? So it is what it is, but there's other things they could get at me about, I'm sure. And with these comedians and these wannabe comedians that are athletes and entertainers and stuff like that, you definitely, I mean, I know I'd get roasted, but I'd roast some people too. But I know there's a lot of people that can't take roasting, all right? Shannon Sharp's one of them. He wouldn't be able to take it. I know a whole bunch of people that wouldn't be able to take roasting. I can. I just don't want to right now. I'll wait until a later date, and maybe one day that'll happen. Chances are, though, I ain't going to fill a damn audience the way Tom Brady did. I ain't got it like that. I'm not that damn gifted, okay? I'm not that damn special. I'm not a 7-time Super Bowl champion. That might have something to do with it. But it was really, really funny, and what I loved most was a toast between Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick. I love seeing Tom Brady saluting Bill Belichick because guess what? When you win 6 Super Bowl championships, when you go to 9 Super Bowls together, come on, y'all. I mean, we make such a big deal about how things ended. You with somebody that long, chances are shit ain't going to end right sometimes. and that's the way it goes. And you just got to live with that, and that's what it is. So I respect that. I accept that, et cetera, et cetera. And I was happy for Tom Brady because I've gotten to know him, particularly since he's retired. And I just love talking to him. One of the greatest honors of this show was having him on the show when he allowed us to do an interview with him. And he was absolutely spectacular. And if that Tom Brady shows up in the booth, contrary to what Bill Belichick said when he said to Tom Brady joking around, please stop working. Don't do your job. No, Tom Brady going to turn it out. He's going to turn it out. 10 years, $357 million. Tom Brady going to turn it. He's going to turn it out. Trust me. I believe in him, and I believe he's going to pull that off. So just wanted to throw that out there right there. $375 million, actually. It's $37.5 million per year. That's what he's going to get. That's what he signed for. So that part is done. The next part I'm going to bring up is not funny at all. And that's involving Kendrick Lamar and Drake, two hip-hop artists who are absolutely extraordinary talents in this genre, in this industry. Both making gobs and gobs of money, both worth over $150 million or so, both doing big, big things. I still loved Kendrick Lamar when he appeared in Power, when, 50 Cent, before 50 Cent got killed off and what have you, and, and he was a crackhead, but he was absolutely sensational as an actor in that show. And I thought that Kendrick Lamar is incredibly talented. Let me say this. This shit ain't cool. It's not good. I'm not going to repeat a single lyric either of them have said. What I'm going to tell you is that pedophilia has been mentioned, talking about who's screwing who and all of this other stuff, talking about people, family members, people, family structure and all of it. Come on, y'all. Now, I was raised rather in the hip-hop generation. I'm a product of the hip-hop generation. I grew up right down the block from Jam Master Dave, Run DMC. I know all about Hollis Crew. LL Cool J grew up at Farmers Boulevard, 5 minutes away from me. 50 Cent, Ja Rule, and ultimately those guys, they grew up in the area nearby. Snoop Dogg is my brother. I've idolized Dr. Dre all my life. Since I was a teenager, because I think he's just that brilliant. We know cats in the game. We've seen Nas and Jay-Z, go at it a little bit. We've seen LL from the days with Kool Moe Dee going at it. We've seen all of this stuff. But not like this. Not like this. At the end of the day, what we're looking for is to see who's the best lyricist. Who's the person with the lyrics along with the beat that can turn some stuff out in a way the other that they're competing with cannot. I mean, even in the movie 8 Mile, where, they cussing at each other and going off, you don't see them doing this kind of shit. It's excessive. And I'm not going to, listen, I get sick and tired and pissed off when people try to compare commentators to stuff like this. One of my boys constantly brings up stuff he classifies as black on black crime. He's sitting a few feet away from me now. When you're talking about sports and you got to denigrate somebody's performance, it's their performance. When you got to sit up there and say they get in school, that's because they get in school. You're going up against somebody. But when you're doing stuff like Kendrick Lamar and Drake are doing to each other right now, yeah, that makes me think about black on black crime. This shit is excessive. You don't cross that line. I mean, just a few days ago, that damn Steven Jackson used the word snitch when it comes to me. I love my brother, but he crossed the line. Because that shit ain't me. But this applies. Am I lying, fellas? Does that snitch apply to this? You talking about who doing who? Who hooking up with who? Who used to hook up with who? Talking about people, family members? Talking about their sexual relationships and all. Whoa. What's that about? First of all, we don't know whatever level of truth there is to any of it. But secondly, true or not, how is that our business? And then if you going so far as to call a brother, damn near call a brother a pedophile like Kendrick Lamar did with Drake, hell, you could be talking lawsuit. Now, both of them are known in the industry as not being of that ilk where they're going to take it to the streets and violence is going to occur. Thank God for that. We don't need that. We don't need that. All of us should stand up and speak out against that. And if you're going at each other lyrically, yeah, but there's still lines that can't be crossed. And props to J. Cole for stepping out of the mix weeks ago by saying he ain't even about that. I can't believe what I'm seeing from Drake and Lamar, especially, I love both of these brothers. Nobody's insulting either one of them. I'm saying both of you are great. Both of you are doing big things. But at what price if this is what you're doing? This can't be for the money. This is personal. And I ain't gonna lie, it's making both of them look bad. Ain't nobody cheering no more. Not for this. You like, oh damn, like you getting hit. Come on, y'all. You are brothers who are brilliant at what you do and what you're doing. And getting paid lovely for it. Keep doing that. Fuck it, if y'all don't like each other, don't talk to each other. Stay away from each other. And all of these fine-ass women out here, we talking about who doing what and just telling on each other. That's what we doing? You can't just get your own and you get your own and move on your merry way? And bringing people who are innocent bystanders, they ain't got nothing to do with y'all beef, and you bringing them in it. We referring to previous relationships other people had because y'all battling. Well, what that got to do with one young lady or one of the fellas? That's y'all shit. Come on, man. Come on. You can sit up there and you can look at commentators and stuff like that. No, we talk about what people do, not who they are. Talk about your performance that you put on public display. We ain't taking private stuff and putting it out there in the ether for everybody to dissect and analyze that can directly impact and affect your personal life, not to mention potentially your finances, your image. I ain't taking sides. I'm saying, could y'all please stop? Y'all are great. Be great. Y'all getting paid. Continue to get paid. Why you gotta do this to each other? Please stop. Please. Because people are gravitating to it that don't even know much about the hip-hop industry, don't have anything to do with it. I'm bringing it the hell up because they talking about it in a damn newsroom, which is where I've been working at for 30 years. Come on, y'all. Please stop. Please. This has gotten far more ugly than anybody anticipated. Up next, Anthony Edwards topples the Nuggets? We'll talk about that. And how close would that bring him to being a new face of the NBA? We'll dive into all of that. Plus, will my New York Knicks prevail against the Indiana Pacers? Got my thoughts on that too. A sit down with actor Luke James from The Chi and other projects that have the industry buzzing. All of that plus LeBron James and the true subject matter of GOAT status and what it entails. Well, I got something to say about that. And my comments will be directed directly at King James himself. Stick around. Wait for it. You're listening to the Stephen A. Smith Show, right here over the digital airwaves of YouTube. Back with more in a minute. It's that time of the year again. The NBA playoffs are in full swing, and that means every point, rebound, and assist is crucial. And I don't know about you, but I need to be in the middle of all that action. And how do I do that exactly? Guess what? I use Prize Picks, of course, the largest fantasy sports platform in all the land with more than 3 million members. Count them, 3 million. 3 million, all right? Prize Picks is a skill-based fantasy app where you select 2 or more players from the sports you love to watch and then choose more or less of their in-game stats. It's not only super exciting, but incredibly easy to play and takes less than 60 seconds to make your picks. So if I know that Ant-Man is dropping 40 and Jokic is pulling down a triple-double, I need to pick that and play to be rolling in the big-time money, all right? So go to prizepicks.com and use promo code SAS for a 100% deposit bonus up to $100. That's right. Go to prizepicks.com. Type in my initials SAS for a first-time deposit match up to $100. That's code SAS. When you go to prizepicks.com, pick more, pick less. It's really, really that easy. Welcome back to Stephen A. Smith Show right here over the digital airwaves of YouTube. Let's get to the NBA playoffs where a statement was made Saturday night, in my estimation, by the one and only Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Edwards especially put Denver on notice when he and the T-Wolves beat the defending world champion Nuggets on their home court in Game 1 of the Western Conference semifinals victories. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know something. Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards, is 22 years old. Dropped 43 points on the Nuggets en route to the victory. The brother has averaged 33.5 in 6 playoff games against the Nuggets over the last 2 years. 5-game series last year, Game 1 this year. 33.5 points. 17 to 29 shooting the other night in Game 1. 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks. The brother is on another level. I told y'all this before. When I see Ant-Man, I see MJ, then Kobe, and then the Ant-Man era. It's not just about your athleticism, your talent. It's about the fact that he wants it. And it's about the fact that you play with a host of teammates. A guy like Karl Anthony Towns averaging 19 points on better than 57% shooting in this series. Just bowing down to you, recognizing who the hell you are. Rudy Gobert, Defensive Player of the Year to be. 4 times that would be if he wins the award this year. Just relenting to who you are and what you bring to the table. Naz Reid, the reigning 6th Man of the Year. Mike Conley Jr., a senior, just a veteran point guard. The Minnesota Timberwolves, I believe, are going to beat the Denver Nuggets. Because I looked at Jokic, he's exhausted. I looked at him, and it's a lot. You remember I told you can't jump onto a curb, and you still can't stop him. Now, he had his 30-plus, but it wasn't with the same regular efficiency that he normally scores. Because he got Karl Anthony Towns guarding him, and he's got Rudy Gobert backing him up on the interior. It's a lot to overcome. You look at the size of the Minnesota Timberwolves. They got size everywhere. They're the best defensive team in basketball. What are you going to do if you are the Denver Nuggets? Jeff Green and Bruce Brown are gone. You got nobody to defend Ant-Man. Gonna put Aaron Gordon on them? You saw what happened with that crossover and that fall-away jumper from the right wing, right? You gonna put Kentavious Caldwell-Pope on him? You saw that abuse. You gonna throw Reggie Jackson on him? You saw that abuse. And Jamal Murray ain't healthy. And they got size and athleticism everywhere. I'm sorry, y'all. I think Minnesota's going to win this series. Denver probably win Game 2 tonight. It's a must-win. But I think Minnesota's going to win this series. But this brother Ant-Man is special. And by the way, if they go to the NBA Finals, or dare I say win the chip, y'all do know he's going to be the new face of the NBA, right? It ain't going to be LeBron. It ain't going to be Steph Curry, who've been mired in playing games over the last couple of years. It's going to be Ant-Man. Because Minnesota ain't going away. They ain't going away. So I want to say that. Let me get to the Knicks and the Pacers real quick. Okay? Because when I think about this series coming up tonight, I got the Knicks winning. Now I know Friday I said 7. Now I'm saying 6. I'm not sure, damn it. But here's the reason why. The New York Knicks struggle to score offensively. They're the slowest paced team in the NBA. 95 possessions, per game. Whereas Indiana's number 1 at nearly 103. Indiana's number 1 offense, 123 points a game. Indiana's the only team in the NBA that shot 50% from the field or better. This is who they are. They're number 1 in pace. They want to push the ball, push the ball, push the ball. They want to run you. Obviously, the New York Knicks struggle with any big that can step away from the basket and shoot. That's what Miles Turner can do. That's what they can do. But in the end, I believe the New York Knicks' toughness, the greatness of Jalen Brunson, who's averaged over 35 against Indiana this year, the combination of Jalen Brunson with Dante DiVincenzo, with a Josh Hart, who's rough and rugged, the ability to rebound and defend because that's not Indiana's strength, I think will rule the day. This is easily a 6-game series, could go 7, but I am going to go with the Knicks in 6. Let me get to a bigger subject, though. Because LeBron James has to be a topic of discussion, particularly in the aftermath of Darvin Ham being fired as head coach for the Los Angeles Lakers on Friday. I do not like it. I think it's jacked up that Darvin Ham is gone. I think he's been scapegoated. I'm pissed off about it. But I'm not surprised by it. But no matter how pissed off I am about it, it was nothing compared to my man Mike Wilbon. For pardon the interruption fame, former columnist for the Washington Post, my colleague and contemporary on NBA Countdown. Mike Wilbon, I was with him all weekend. He was furious. Absolutely furious. And if you don't believe me, look at it for yourself.
If you want to be the GOAT, you want to tell everybody you're the GOAT, you're the greatest player of all time, you want to have it on podcasts, you want to have it, then take accountability like one. Do that.
Say no more. Because at the end of the day, that's really what it comes down to. By the way, even Kendrick Perkins is rethinking his position on calling LeBron James the GOAT. Because with GOAT status comes accountability. This is not a 9th coach that LeBron James has had in his 21-year career. He's going to be on his 10th coach. Now, Shaq had 13. Kobe had 10. You know, Jason Kidd had 9. We get all of that. Okay? But look at this right here. LeBron James, Cavaliers, Paul Silas, Brendan Malone as an interim, Mike Brown for 5 years, Heat with Eric Spoelstra. If it were up to LeBron, one could argue that wouldn't have happened because LeBron wasn't high on Eric Spoelstra when he first arrived. Pat Riley just let him know, no, bro, you ain't running this organization. I am. Eric Spoelstra ain't going no damn place. And sure enough, Eric Spoelstra has proven to be one of the great, great coaches in the history of the game. You got Cavaliers coach David Blatt. Well, David Griffin, the GM at the time, didn't really want Blatt. Ownership wanted Blatt, but they wouldn't have picked Blatt if LeBron James had spoken up and fought for Ty Lue, which he didn't do. So you had to deal with Blatt for a year and some games before they ultimately got rid of him and inserted Ty Lue in there, and then they won the championship. Then you got the Lakers with Luke Walton, who LeBron James did not, he inherited. He didn't pick him. But then you had something to do with Frank Vogel being there. You had something to do with Darvin Ham being there. I'm not going to even get into the fact that I don't like the fact that he didn't speak up for the brother. That would have been nice. Darvin Ham, in 2 years, take you to the Western Conference Finals. I mean, you would think you go to the Western Conference Final last year, this year you get bounced out in the first round, but both losses were to the Denver Nuggets, who's universally recognized up to this point, up before Saturday, as the best team in basketball. So I'd have done that. All right, I'd have fought for Darvin Ham. But we knew from the time that Anthony Davis spoke out about how discombobulated and disorganized they were following their Game 2 loss in Denver. We knew the days were numbered for Darvin Ham. We knew that. That's what Anthony Davis did on purpose. You don't say something like that and don't think that's gonna be a positive reflection on a coach. You know exactly what you were doing. But that's not either here nor there. You see Darvin Ham's record right there, 90 and 74 in 2 seasons, 2 playoff appearances, 1 conference finals appearances, 2 seasons as the Lakers coach. And by the way, last year when he got them to the conference finals, they did most of it primarily without the services of LeBron James during the regular season because LeBron James was hurt for a chunk of games. But that's neither here nor there. Who the Lakers are going to get, what they're going to do moving forward remains to be seen. I'd like to see Mark Jackson get a look. How about that? The man who's been blackballed for no conceivable, explainable reason. That would be nice. Phil Handy being out as assistant coach. Hell, he came to LA because LeBron asked him to come. And I'm being told the reason the whole coaching staff was going, including him, was because, he wasn't vibing with the narrative that it was a coaching problem. the players were being allowed to run the asylum per se. And so he's out. So it's going to be real interesting to see what happens to him and whether or not he's going to be brought back. Is LeBron going to facilitate that? Why am I asking these questions about LeBron? Because we got to stop acting. Ladies and gentlemen, is LeBron James worthy of the GOAT conversation or not? For me, it's MJ all day, every day. But for some of you young whippersnappers, breath smelling like Similac, wet behind the ears, who don't know no damn better, of course you're going to say LeBron James. Fine. Are you willing to concede that if we're having a conversation about who the true GOAT is, that some level of accountability must come with it? When has LeBron James spoken up for a coach? Remember how Michael Jordan was like, when Phil's gone, I'm gone. You ain't get rid of him. Remember how Patrick Ewing used to stick up for Jeff Van Gundy? Remember how Alonzo Mourning stuck up for Pat Riley? Remember that? Remember that? Now, I notice a pattern, and one could easily argue that, the white coaches get stuck up for. We ain't hear about brothers being stuck up for. Okay, that's a different subject for another day. That's not necessarily applicable here, just worth noting from a curiosity standpoint. But here's my point about LeBron James. How can you be on a Mount Rushmore of basketball and be completely innocent at the same time for every coach that gets let go under your watch? How is that possible? How? I mean, you listen to Rich Paul and these folks in his camp. What? Why don't you just put a turban or something around LeBron James and call him Gandhi? Does he do anything wrong? Does he? When I get a little nervous, I go to the toilet. You see other people do stuff all the time. They pass gas. They burp. Sometimes, not me, but I've been around people who clearly forgot to take a damn shower or preferred not to. They stink. Or they might take a shower and think their soap is refreshing to everybody else as they may believe it is to them. Don't put on no damn deodorant, and they still stink. We're human beings. Shit happens. Except if you're LeBron James. It's never that. Never. Coach come, coach go. Nothing to do with you. Rob Pelinka, running the Los Angeles Lakers, having just won a championship in a bubble, I guess he was the one that said, we really, really want Russell Westbrook here. And we want to trade away Kyle Kuzma and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and let Alex Caruso walk out the door to the Chicago Bulls for nothing. I guess Rob Pelinka did that all by himself. LeBron James had nothing to do with it. Anthony Davis had nothing to do with it. Come on, y'all. It's not a crime if you did. The crime is acting like you have nothing to do with these things. I can tell you this for a fact. Let me tell you something about this woman, Jeannie Buss, the board of governor for the Los Angeles Lakers, part owner, a wonderful woman with a beautiful soul. Let me tell you something about Jeannie Buss. There is nothing more important to her than keeping LeBron James happy. Absolutely, positively nothing. Not Pelinka, not any of the players, not any of the coaches. I mean, she does, listen, better not mess with Linda Rambis. Jeannie ain't having that. And damn it, I might fight you too, because I've grown to love Linda. Okay? But that's about the only safe person with Jeannie Buss. No one else is untouchable with her. But LeBron James. He gonna get his 3-year extension. He gonna get his money. Hell, if he wants them to, they'll grab Bronny. No one else might. Not yet at this stage and point in his career anyway. But grabbing him, putting him in the G League, developing him along the way. Would the Lakers do that for LeBron James? In a heartbeat. I'm telling you what I know. They wouldn't hesitate. How is it that you have that kind of influence, but you are innocent Abe when it comes to coaches getting fired? When it comes to roster changes? You have nothing to do with it? Of course you do. which is why Darvin Ham being fired and him approaching his 10th coach in 21 years is something that should affect whatever GOAT status y'all want to attach him to. Leadership is a component of it. Continuity, trust, accountability is a part of it. And when you act like it has nothing to do with you and it can't be touched, that's very suspicious. That's very suspicious. LeBron James is a phenomenal player. But that's not enough for him. He likes to control narratives. And he likes to put folks out there to control narratives for him. Why is LeBron James, who is worth almost $1 billion, if not more than $1 billion, who is one of the top 2 greatest players in the history of basketball, who is approaching his 21st season? Look at me, Galen! Why is this man in his 21st season? Yes, I'm screaming at my producers. This man is in his 21st season, approaching age 40, worth over $1 billion, looking for ownership, because I know these kind of things, trying to connect with people, the Saudis, for crying out loud. They're looking for some money, for some partners to be an NBA owner. Trust me, I know this stuff. Why is that guy on a fucking basketball podcast? All of a sudden, you want to teach the game. All of a sudden, you want to edify the public and enunciate and articulate the pure embodiment of what basketball is all about. Really? Suddenly that interests you. Suddenly that interests you. This ain't throwing no shade on the podcast that he's got with JJ Redick. It is a sensational podcast, and if you want to know about basketball, those are 2 brothers to listen to. I'm not throwing a speck of shade on them about it at all. I'm simply asking a question. After all of this time, after the shop, after acting in Trainwreck, after creating shows for Hollywood, after doing all of this, suddenly, now you want to talk basketball in its purest sense. One would think that would have been your original idea, as opposed to jumping in as the latest podcast that tens of thousands of people already have. You're doing it because he wants to position himself to control the narrative. Fair enough. It's not a crime against that. Just one thing. True GOATs don't have to do that. Because they the GOAT. And it's kind of self-explanatory. You know what I'm saying? But LeBron feels the need to do that now. I wonder why. I'm going to move on from this subject because I know it's not going anywhere. It will revisit me. I have no doubt. But I got better things to do with my time right now than stay on this particular subject. I'm going to move on from it. Stick around, though. I got more for you. The one and only Luke James, plus your tweets, and a little more NBA talk coming up. Don't go anywhere. You're listening, watching the Stephen A. Smith Show right here over the digital airwaves on YouTube.
We gotta stop stressing and live our lives.
There's always calm before the storm.
Everybody get down!
If I ruled the world,
Imagine that.
you playing with fire.
I'm trying to protect us.
The only way to do that is to settle your debt with Duda.
I free all my sons.
Whoever tries to kill me and fails, they need to die.
Diamonds and pearls.
Alicia hates Duda as much as he hates her. That could work in our favor.
If I ruled the world,
Still living for today.
It's time for me to cash in that favor.
walk right up to the sun.
You've changed a lot of lives.
Some for the worse.
I think it'll be good for me.
Just be careful.
Walk right up to the sun.
Think of it as an investment.
I know how to play the game.
That's what everybody thinks until they lose.
Walk right up to the sun. We won't land.
Just trust me. I got this.
We won't land. If I rule the world. Imagine that.
I never should have sent a boy to do a woman's job.
If I rule the world. I love him, baby.
Oh, hell yes. Oh, I can't wait for this. That was a scene from the critically acclaimed Showtime series The Chi, which stars my next guest. He's a 3-time Grammy-nominated singer, songwriter, and actor who now stars in 2 shows that has the industry buzzing. I'm happy to talk to my next guest right here. The brother is special, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show, the one and only Luke James. What's up, big time? How are you, man? How you doing?
Steven, man, I'm magical, man. Thank you for having me again, brother.
I mean, I see that scene there. I can't wait for the Chi to come out again. How are you feeling about the show, where it is now, and what level of traction it has gained and accumulated over these few years? Because it is something special.
Man, it's just that. It's very special. I mean, I'm on fire. I'm in the middle of Times Square. I'm seeing us on the teleprompter. I mean, not the teleprompter, the jumbo screen, the jumbotron.
Yep.
It's amazing, bro. Like,
Yep.
6 seasons in. This is a black show, you know. This is about the black experience within a particular city, the Chi, Southside Chi, and I mean, it's just, you know, giving you an inside, grounded look at, you know, the experience. Thank God, Lena Waithe and Common for doing this, man. I'm just grateful to be a part of the party, man. I mean, 6 seasons, it's crazy. This season is gonna be on fire, man. People do not want to miss the second half of season 6.
We can't miss it. When they came to you, Lena Waithe and Common, you brought them both up, and they talked to you about the role, because you play Victor in the show, of course.
Yeah.
And when I think about this critically acclaimed show for Showtime, for those that are unfamiliar with your role in the show, remind our audience about you and the role you play as Victor in the show.
Well, I come in as an estranged brother of Jake. Those who know, Jake is with the dreads.
Right.
He's been adopted by a man by the name of Duda, who I know of from the underworld, and I'm coming in to save my brother. And that my agenda is just to come in and get my brother out of this nonsense and give him a better life. But I get a bit stuck, and that's who Trig. Well, now Victor is.
Mm-hmm. I think about the Chi, and I think, I remember when The Wire was on, and obviously everybody was watching that throughout the years, along with so many other shows that were successful. People didn't anticipate that the Chi would be this successful. What is it about the Chi that you believe has made the show so successful over the years? Because everybody gravitates to it, especially people in the black community. There's no question about that.
Well, I mean, how many shows are like us out there in all of television? We are, there's not many, and we are one of a kind. And I think the writing, I think the ensemble, I think the groundedness of such a show that gives not just the black community, but all communities an insight to the black experience. I think it just resonates with people on such a profound level, more than just entertainment, but something that's a bit grounding in a sense that makes you just think about it day in and day out, you know?
Are you shocked at how receptive the public, and it ain't just about black appeal. You know how I say it. It ain't just about black appeal. It's about mass appeal. We want everybody. Right. We want everybody watching, all right? More people that watch, more money for you, more success. That's how it goes, okay? And I guess what I'm asking is that, you would think that a show like this, there's no question it would have black appeal, but it has mass appeal. How do you believe it's transcended the black race per se and has touched on having mass appeal in such a successful way? How do you believe, or why do you believe it's been able to pull that off?
I think it's the writing. I give it up to our creators. I think that it just starts with the words first, right? And then we play it out in our directors, our beautiful DPs, our entire crew. I think just the styling of it, also Showtime and Paramount, seeing it as it is, and seeing how necessary it is to our world to have such depictions of people, just people in general. I mean, the Shy in totality, I think, is about the journeys of different peoples trying to find their space in this world and, in a sense, find love. And I think everybody, no matter who you are, resonates with trying to be seen, wanting to be seen, and finding a space for you where that is loveful. And I think that's what the Shy has. And I think people gravitate towards that groundedness.
And remember, it ain't just about being seen, it's about being heard, because that's very important to anybody from our community, having a voice and making sure that it resonates. But guess what? When you allude to a journey, you're on your own journey, my brother. I mean, I'm looking at Amazon Prime's horror series, Them, and folks are talking about what a chilling performance it's been on your part. Emmy worthy. This is what they're saying about the one and only Luke James, who I'm talking to right now. They're saying Emmy worthy. This is what they're talking about. And I want it. Listen, for those that don't know, it's a horror anthology set in Los Angeles County circa 1991 and centers on LAPD Detective Dawn Reeve, who's assigned to a new case of gruesome murder that has left the most hardened detectives shaken. That's how they describe this. I want you to tell me about your role in this show and how you prepared for it.
You know, the creator, Lil Marvin, this is his homage to the 80s and 90s classic horror films. You know, it's, you know, when you think of Seven or Candyman and Freddy Krueger,
right.
You know, you think of those things that just stayed with you when you left the theater. I think he did a beautiful job in tailoring it in that way. This is the second installment. And I play a character by the name of Edmund, who is an aspiring, struggling actor in Los Angeles, who's working on and trying to wait for his big break, looking for his big break, but who also has a deep void. He's in search of identity. And I think we go on that journey of watching him discover himself.
You know, you're exploring yourself as an actor, and I mean, and I say that with all compliments, because you're willing. It's one thing to be in search of range. You seem to be a tad bit different. You seem to be somebody that wants to prove you already have that range. Am I wrong in saying that? I'm not trying to imply that you think you've arrived, because even though you have, we get better because we know we need to, and we have that hunger within inside ourselves. How would you describe yourself as an actor at this particular moment in time, as an artist, to be quite honest with you, in terms of the journey that you've traveled and where you believe you are now compared to where you were years ago?
I'm a musician first, so I'm a sponge. So I'm a sponge, and I'm a child of just learning the craft. You know, and I think I'm fairly new to this particular medium, television, film, and I'm just open, and I'm a bit adventurous in that sense, and I'm constantly learning. And so I also look for things that challenge me in that way, that I can stretch. And I find myself leaning more into a space in the actor realm. I think of myself as a vessel. So I've been blessed to be able to take on roles that kind of make me think outside of myself, and in a sense kind of deepens my well of empathy. And I'm just grateful, man. I'm challenging myself. This role was a challenging role it's nothing I've ever done before. Absolutely freaked out to do it, but also grateful to be part of it, because I'm a believer and a fan of the show. And Little Marvin created such a safe space for me to explore the unknown.
How difficult was it for you to accept the role? I mean, was it a scary proposition for you to embrace such a challenge, or was it something that you salivated for, that you looked for, that was different from anything else that you've been doing, and you were like, yeah, this will give me an opportunity to show what I can do?
Second part, like my team came to me with this project. I didn't know they were looking. I didn't know there was a second season coming, but I do. You know, I ask God, man, just to continue to bless me with opportunities that will continue to stretch me as an artist and as a human being. And here comes them, you know, and. If you ever seen the first season, you know, led by Deborah Ayurende, who is also in the second season, it's profound. It is top tier television. It's one of the best series on television in television history. Right. So to be a part of it, to get the opportunity to be a part of it, I jumped to it. I'm a struggling actor, as we all are. So you just say
really?
yes.
Really? Is that what you're going to call yourself? Did you just say that about yourself with a straight face? That you're a struggling actor? Really? You just said that? How the hell are you struggling? If you struggling, there's a whole bunch of vagrants in the acting industry if you struggling. I mean, come on, bro.
Listen, all of us are not promised, man. It's a hard business to commit to, you know, and like fully commit to. I don't have no other job, you know. Music, yes, is one thing, and music is how I got to this, but even that is fickle, right? And that's not promised. It's all predicated on someone else seeing the vision and loving it. And so for me, you know, I'm auditioning constantly. Yesterday, I just did a self-tape. You know, I'm constantly putting myself out there to show that I can do more and to expand my territory. So yes, I keep that hunger in me. And I think most actors, theater artists, all of us, we feel that little bit of struggle. And when you keep that little bit of struggle, that allows you to continue to expand and do the unknown.
You hail from New Orleans in a musical family, from what my research tells me. You started as a background singer for Tyrese.
I did. I saw Tyrese.
All right.
So
that's why that brother act like that. That's why. Nah, it's compliment. It's all love. I got a lot of love for Tyrese. And you were a writer for Justin Bieber, Chris Brown, and Britney Spears. That's true?
Yeah. I've been blessed, man. I've been blessed to be in the rooms with people and just expand my territory and my talents, you know, and lend my talents to those who see me and hear what I have to offer. I'm grateful, man. I'm really
So what
grateful.
do you enjoy more? What do you enjoy more at this point? The acting, or is it always going to be singing, songwriting? Is it always going to be that? Or is acting really elevated in terms of your mind's eye?
Music got me here. Music has taught me how to be open, how to be receptive. It has taught me a lot about life. And in a sense, it's taught me how to act. So I can never make that second, because that's just something I innately do. But acting has definitely played a big part in my life, and just different experiences, just different storylines, different lives. It has opened my mind to the world in general, right? The mass appeal. There's so many different types of people, and I'm grateful to be able to portray these different characters. And in a sense, it's again deep in my well of empathy as a human being. So I love both. I can't see myself not doing both.
I watch your performance, and you're a talented brother, no question about that. And I think a lot more offers are going to come your way. They deserve to come your way. Let's be very, very clear about that. So keep doing what you're doing. But when you see your personality, when you see just the ambiance, the aura that comes with you, how you carry yourself, et cetera, nobody, I believe, would look at you and think for 1 second that words like anxiety or depression have ever been associated with you. But apparently they have. Talk about that, what your experiences were like with that, what brought those things on in your estimation, and how you were able to push through it.
Well, you know, I'm in a business that is, you know, you have to really believe in yourself. You really have to put yourself out there, and you know, you take a chance on people not seeing your worth, and in a sense that can get into you, especially if you've been doing it for years and years, and there's a lot of letdowns, there's a lot of no's before there's a yes. And you have to, you know, what that has done for me is made my skin thicker and made my heart a bit more well, in a sense, because I've come to love myself completely without everything else. You know, and I think in the beginning, you're a bit green, and you have your dreams, and you think about time, and you thought at this time, at age 18, I'd be the biggest pop star, superstar, whatever. And when that doesn't happen, then you know, you just keep moving forward, and you're trying to get on, and that wears on you. And then once you're in, then you learn about the business, and then you learn that it's more business than creative. And for a creative person, as an artist, the business side can really take a toll on you. It can wear you out. It can just run you dry.
Hell yeah.
I found myself in that space, and I didn't feel loved. I didn't have love for myself and the things that I was creating, and I had to take a second away from it. I had to step away from it and reflect on what it was that music meant to me, that entertainment business meant to me. And it wasn't until the New Edition story came where I was able,
Right.
it was just another art form, again, back into acting. It was just another art form.
That's when you played Johnny Gill. That's when you played Johnny Gill.
Well, by
You
way
know?
of music. And in that experience, I found a brotherhood. In that experience, I was able to gain mentors, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, Babyface,
Yep.
Chris Robinson, who directed it. Just, brothers who can really, who see me, who saw me, who saw all of my castmates, and they didn't hold back. All of New Edition, the way that they love on us. Johnny calls me every other moon, making sure I'm still singing.
That's what he does. That's what he does. That's what he does. And I asked you about that because just a couple of questions before I let you get on out of here. Listen, I can tell you this right now. Somebody that's been in this business for about 30 years, there have been an inordinate amount of times where you don't feel loved at all. You feel like, negativity is going to follow you wherever you go. They're going to sit there. They're going to come at me. But for me, I never thought about stepping away because, believe it or not, I never thought I could afford to. I felt like the minute you step away, somebody else will try and grab your spot because absence makes the heart grow fonder, but too much absence makes the heart wander, as they say. And so that's how I looked at it, and it was never something that I ever thought that I could possibly entertain. How did you know you could entertain it? How did you know you could walk away and still come back? Or did you walk away thinking, I don't know if I'm going to come back?
No, I'd always known this is all I was going to do. It was just at one point it was just music, and then but I wasn't in love with it, and I thought about going home. I thought about it, but at the same time thinking about that, what would I do? This is all I know. This is all I've prepared my entire life for, and my sights weren't set high enough or wide enough. I only saw myself from one point of view. I didn't see myself. I didn't see the whole spectrum, right? It's like a cat playing football and only thinking about playing the sport, but not thinking about the entire thing, which you could be a part of, right? Being an announcer, being a sports editor, being a coach, being somebody, how to pivot, because it's all in the same mainframe, but you have to see it that way. You can't, but you get tunnel vision in one aspect, and then certain things happen in your life that make you look at things differently. And I had to go through that. I had to go through that that little down time to see what else I had to offer.
I heard that you have a new son. Congratulations. Congratulations. What has that done? What has that done for exactly what you just alluded to and what you're talking about? What has having that son done for you?
Man, it's given me great purpose beyond myself. I was the center, but now my son is my son. You dig? And he sees me, he shines on me, he looks at me, and the look that he gives me, I'm his superstar. And whatever that is, it makes me level up. It makes me joyful. It makes me happy to be alive and to be present, to be his father. And I could never let him down. I would never let myself down to let him down. I'm just grateful, man. I'm present more. Yeah. I understand time. I totally get it, because every day he's a new person. And it's made me just respect the people around me. It's made me look at my mother differently than I've ever thought of,
Older you get, the smarter your mother is.
Yes.
Yeah. My man, listen, I'm so happy for you. I can't wait. Listen, you can catch you and Luke James on them, now streaming on Amazon as we speak. Season 6 of The Chi premieres May 10th on Showtime and will also stream on Paramount Plus. My brother, I will be watching. You know I got my own studio in back east in New York, and you are welcome to come through, my man. You know I'm going to look forward to bringing you in studio. We're going to chop it up for a lengthier period of time, man. Thank you. I'm so happy for you, and I'll be monitoring and watching everything you do, my man. Keep doing big things.
Thank you, Stephen. Man, I'm grateful for you, brother. Thank you. I see you.
You know it. We'll talk soon. That was the one and only Luke James. I mean, listen, The Chi is a big-time show. Make no mistake about it. Alina Waithe and Common deserve all the credit in the world. Common is my brother. I love him to death, and the brother's so talented on so many different levels. But Alina Waithe she's something special. And the work that people like her, Issa Rae, and others are doing in Hollywood is to be recognized, is to be noticed. I've interviewed Issa a long time, a few months back. She's a spectacular, spectacular talent. And I've said this on many, many occasions. Yes, when I filled in for Jimmy Kimmel doing hosting Jimmy Kimmel Live in August of 2021, yes, it's really, really nice to have an opportunity to do stand-up comedy. I'm no comedian, so I will not lie to you, and excuse my language. I took a shit about 3 times an hour in the last hour before the show, because that's when I get nervous, that's what I do. I go to the toilet. Okay? I don't smoke, I don't drink, I gotta use the toilet. And when I hosted Jimmy Kimmel Live, that hour before I had to go out there, I went to the toilet 3 times. I went to the toilet 3 times. 3 times. You'd have thought I had diarrhea. I did not. It was that I was scared. I'm just telling the truth. My staff is looking at me. I'm just telling the truth. Ain't that supposed to be what you do on a podcast show? You're supposed to do it. Damn it, I'm just telling the truth. And I'll even paint the picture for you. You know why I was like that? You know why I was like, no, not that kind of picture, not that kind of picture, not that kind of picture. Let me tell y'all why. What happened? What happened is I went out there, and so Jimmy Kimmel's staff, they got these great writers, these great producers. They could not have been more accommodating and all of this other stuff. And then an hour before the show, they all looked gloom, and it was like, it was a death in the family. And I said, what happened? What's going on? And they looked at me and said, we've done our part. You're on your own now. And I said, oh, damn. And that's when I had to go to the bathroom 3 times. I was that nervous. But I ended up going out there and doing a damn 18-minute opening monologue. But I only bring that up to say, as much as I like to show people, I can make you laugh, I can have a good time, the biggest reason that I love having this show, that I would love to do a show like that or anything else, is because it's away from debate television, and I get an opportunity to celebrate the greatness of others. And I think that Luke James is a great talent. I think he's a great talent that is going to be a star for years to come in this industry if given the right opportunity, because like he talked about, anxiety and depression and all of that other stuff. Where does it come from? It comes from knowing who you are, knowing what you bring to the table, having a firm belief in yourself, but then ultimately having that compromised because the fruits of your labor are ultimately controlled by the decisions other people make. We all go through that. I go through that. Everybody that works for me goes through that. People I work for go through that. Hell, I work for Disney. And on April 3rd, there was a shareholders meeting discussing and contemplating the future of Bob Iger, who's one of the greatest executives in the history of the business. Nobody's safe. Nobody can look at themselves and be like, I've arrived. Nobody can touch me. Everybody can be touched. And so Luke James being open to discuss that, what the challenges were, and clearly in a position where there's a level of resolve that he has displayed and there's a level of inner peace that he has captured, is something for all of us to admire and ultimately pursue to achieve in our own lives. I give major, major props to the brother. I'm real happy for him, and I can't wait for The Chi. All right, May 10th, Showtime, Paramount, all of that, okay? And of course, them, all right, which is out right now. So let's just give some love where it's due, pay homage and props to him, and that is that. Before I get on out of here for the day, thank y'all for joining me, by the way. I'd be remiss in neglecting to go to some tweets, because that's very, very important to do when we're thinking about ending the show, because I haven't done tweets in a few days. I had a lot of stuff on my mind Friday. It's the longest podcast I ever did, okay? 2 hours, 15 minutes, okay? And damn it, I ain't trying to do something that long again, but I will if somebody pisses me off enough to do it. Let me just be clear. But I'm not pissed today. I'm in quite a good mood today. I can't promise you what I'm going to feel like Wednesday. Can't promise. Somebody might say some shit, piss me off. Okay? And then I got to go in. I hope that don't happen, but you never know. You never know. Anyway, let's get to the tweets before I get on out of here for the day, all right? At Cheapy Mac, all right? Cheapy Mac, CheaPiemac, said, Stephen A., what would you have roasted Tom Brady about last night? Damn. Well, if you're roasting somebody, you're trying to be funny, but in the same breath, you're trying to hit them for the jugular, too. I forgot that woman's name. I got brain locked. But when she talked about, you know, Tom Brady and Giselle, but the boyfriend, and I ain't going to repeat what she said, a little bit graphic. Nikki Glazer, I believe her name is, when she said about somebody's ass and got your face in it, but, you know, so I mean, I wouldn't have used those words, but my jokes would have been along those lines. That was a good one. That was definitely a good one. I would not, even though Bill Belichick did a good one, I would not have talked about how Tom Brady about to do Fox TV. So I'm just saying, please don't do your job. I mean, it was funny coming from Bill Belichick. It wouldn't have been funny coming from me. But, yeah, I would have touched on Giselle a little bit. I would have touched on rumors involving Kim Kardashian when they first came out. You know, after he had broken up with Giselle, and then they were seen at the Fanatics all-white party that Michael Rubin did not invite me to, by the way, that I'm still salty about. I mean, I wouldn't have minded if it was just athletes and actors and actresses and musicians and stars and stuff like that. He had some journalists up in there, but I wasn't there. He had some commentators up in there, but I wasn't up in there. What you doing, Michael Rubin? What you doing? That's the problem. But I would tell you that, you know, I would have done some Tom Brady, Kim Kardashian jokes. I would have done that. Just to talk about Kim Kardashian, just touch. I mean, why not? Got nothing to lose there. That's what I would have done. Next tweet. Let's see what you got here, okay? At, what is it? Debo Tatum writes, the Pacers are going to sweep the Knicks. How do you feel about that? You smoking crack, dog. You know what I'm saying? You smoking big time crack. I mean, I could tell you to stay off the weed, but it's clearly more than weed. Knicks getting swept by Pacers, you must be smoking something. Something wrong with you. You inebriated in some fashion, baby. It ain't going to happen. Now, I got the Knicks winning the series, but I understand that the Pacers are a formidable threat. What I can assure you of, however, they ain't getting swept. I can promise you that. You clearly are from Indianapolis. You clearly are from Indianapolis. Let's move on to the next one, please. Next tweet, please. I ain't going to waste more time with this one. At Jack Lucene, or Lucene, or the hell it is. Jack, L-U-C-E-N-A-Y. Stephen A., compare Kendrick Lamar versus Drake in basketball terms using any NBA players from history. That's a good one. It's a really good one. Are you ready for this analogy? How about Dennis Rodman versus Charles Oakley? One, in Oakley, ferocious, no nonsense, will kick your ass, will beat you down. He will walk up to you in the off season. He will walk up to you during the season in the back tunnels by the locker room and slap the living shit out of you. I won't mention any names, but he's done it to several players. Several, okay? So that's Charles Oakley. And that's what Drake tried to do. And then Rodman would be somebody like Kendrick Lamar. Gifted, winner, no doubt about it. But is he your cup of tea? Nah. Based on how low Kendrick Lamar is going with Drake, say it's a bit low. I told you earlier. I mean, he brought up pedophilia talking about Drake. Come on, bro. That's too much. That's just too much, okay? Why do I bring that up about Dennis Rodman? Do y'all know that Dennis Rodman would squeeze somebody's ass just to agitate him? He do stuff like that. Squeeze the ass. They get in front of, they get near him. He pass gas while they coming back. I mean, he did stuff like this. Dennis Rodman didn't give a damn. At least that's what I was told. I was never on the basketball court with him. I don't know if it's true or not. I'm telling you what I was told. You understand? That's why Alonzo Mourning almost damn near got in a fight with him. He kept touching him. You understand? Remember that scene, you know, with Rick James on Dave Chappelle when they was playing Prince? How about you and your crew go against me and the revolution? Hey, remember when Charlie Murphy? Remember all of that? The late, great Charlie Murphy, God rest his soul. And he said they would set these fruity picks and all of this other stuff. That's what he was saying, stuff like that. It was hilarious. It was an hilarious skit. Well, that's what Dennis Rodman used to do to some people, they felt. Stuff like that. We live in advanced times now. So because of that, you ain't making fun of people and all of that other stuff like that. But back then, that's what they did. And when they did that, you know, people had a problem with Rodman sometimes. Rodman did anything he could to agitate you. Anything. And that's what I see with Kendrick and Drake. And that's why it would be my comparison. Last tweet, what you got? What the hell is this? Would you drink this drink right here? Okay? What is this drink right here they're saying? Okay? Mixture of Guinness and Monster Energy. Yo, y'all, I ain't drinking that. My shit would explode. That's more potent than Red Bull. I'm not messing with that. I can't have that. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want. There's certain things, man. You understand? I mean, get your heart palpitating and messing with you, and it's so strong, you wondering whether or not you're gonna have a heart attack. Now, we all want our stuff to work. Long we on this earth, it's important that it works, damn it. But not at the price of our life. I don't want to catch no damn heart attack. Okay? So I'm not doing the Guinness and Monster. I'm not doing that. Hell no. I mean, and listen, I don't drink Red Bull. I'm a fan of it. I've heard great things about it. You understand? I especially loved it in Rush Hour 2 when Chris Tucker was about to get with the French girl. Okay? I think it was Rush Hour 2 or Rush Hour 3. He's about to get with the girl from France who pulled that wig off, and she was bald. She said, I am a woman, just like everybody. He said, you sure about that? Now, I remember that. But remember, when he thought he was about to get with her, he sat up there and called room service and ordered some Red Bull. I don't even drink Red Bull. I damn sure ain't drinking this. I want my stuff safe and intact. I don't want an implosion. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. Ain't happening. Anyway, I got to get on out of here. I got business to take care of, but I'm glad y'all joined me today. Appreciate the love and support. Obviously, once again, my followers have exceeded 638,000 and counting. Wouldn't happen without the love and support coming from y'all. So thank you so much. Appreciate the love. Again, I'm in a very, very, very good mood today. Clearly, I'm not in New York. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even in LA. I'm someplace where the weather is beautiful, okay? So I'm in a very, very good mood, all right? People didn't annoy me and piss me the hell off. You understand? And take stuff out of context and exaggerate and embellish and all of that other stuff. So I was in a very, very nice mood today. And I hope y'all enjoy me when I'm in a nice mood. But just in case you don't, I have no doubt somebody's going to piss me off within the next 24 to 36 hours, which means I'll be back more pissed off than ever before in a couple of days. Stay tuned. You just never, never know. Other than that, here's another reason I'm in a good mood. Go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go. Say go New York, go New York, go. Knicks in 6. I'm holding on to that theory. And you know, whoever wins game 1 between the Knicks and the Pacers have gone on to win the last 7 playoff series between the two teams. 7-0, baby. Let's make it 8-0 starting tonight. New York Knicks win game 1. I'll talk to y'all in a couple of days. Until then, peace and love.